What's up, everybody? I'm DJ Sixsmith. Welcome to Sit Down. Jonica T. Gibbs, Sophina Brown hanging out with us. 20s on BET. It's a good one so far. How you both doing?
I'm excited everything. You first. No, doing well. Family's well. Everything's okay.
Yeah. Same. Just like I said, trying to keep a very positive perspective. Making space for myself to, have that, whatever that may entail. And it's been okay.
Yeah, I think we're all just trying to get by right now, just trying to figure it out one day at a time, 1 week at a time. Good thing is that we got some good TV shows going on. This one is right there. So, Jojo, how about we start with you? I mean, you're playing Hattie. You're jumping into this world for the first time in terms of like a big TV spot here. So, what has this whole roller coaster ride been like for you?
Wow, I've had so much gratitude throughout this entire process because, like you said, it's been a whirlwind. Honestly, I was kind of just thrust into it. Lena gave me the opportunity to audition out of nowhere, and I think it was just God's divine timing how things came to fruition, honestly. And I think that, when you're ready for something to happen, it happens, and I think I've been doing it pretty good. I think I've been handling it okay. And the transition has been so much fun. So I'm loving it.
That's awesome. I like that perspective. Sophina, how about for you? You've had a lot of great parts in the past. What appealed to you the most about 20s?
Well, I feel extremely human in this role, if that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. A lot of the things that I've done in the past there hasn't been as much of an intersection in terms of different humanity. And so the opportunity to play this role and to really fully express things and to not just have it be completely, dramatic or heavy. I mean, there's so much levity. They do a brilliant job writing this show that just really, it's, like I said, the full expression of what it is. Woman to be here. It's a full expression of so many intersections of humanity.
Mm-hmm. I think one of the best parts of the show is that these characters are three-dimensional. They have depth. And, for you, JoJo, it's like you get to be a Black queer woman who is loosely based off of Lena's story, and you get to star in that role. And it's not just another person in another show. Like, this is a starring role. So what does it mean to you to carry that weight and just display this life that it's always been there, but it's finally getting to shine in the main spotlight?
Sometimes I don't even think I recognize the significance of the circumstance, just because I'm in it, but I do from the perspective of knowing where I was at 22 and how I was trying so hard to find a space of acceptance for who I was trying to figure out I was. That sometimes I forget that I was once in that space of needing to see a visual representation of something that I could relate to. However, when I do reflect back on those times in my life, I do 100% understand the significance of this moment and playing this character, loosely based off of Lena, who is incredible. She gave me so much direction on set in terms of things, the way she wanted things to be displayed through her words. And also gave me the space to, create this character in my own regard. So I really appreciate her in that collaborative spirit of recognizing that I'm also a performer and she's, a writer. And so, I love it. I used to substitute teach, and I've had students want to talk to me about stuff. And I didn't have that growing up. I just thought I was crazy or thought I was, I didn't know what was going on. So I think it makes people feel accepted and safe, in some regards, to see a character that they can relate to. So I'm proud to be a part of it.
That's really beautifully said. And relatability is such a huge part of this. And I think also friendship is a huge theme in the show as well. And Sophina, when you think about this, what is the coolest part in terms of just the dynamics of the different friendships going on in this series?
That's one of my favorite components of 20s. And actually, I was just talking about this a few weeks ago when we had to do a video. We were asked a question about like what draws you to the television shows that you watch. And I said, for me, it's friendship. That's what draws me to watching television shows. And 20s does this. It's so wonderful to see these three women have this friendship that, I mean, they go through some stuff. They're brutally honest with each other, but they're always speaking to each other in love. That's the component that I think that the writers of this show, and Lena hits like the nail on the head, because we do, have lots of opinions. I know with my friendships, I have a lot of opinions about certain things that people do, and they have opinions about what I do. But at the end of the day, it all comes back to that love and the camaraderie and the ability to be absolutely 100% authentic with these people that have chosen to kind of do life with you. And I think that it's just a really beautiful depiction of how deep and how just complex female friendships are.
And you need those friendships, especially in your 20s and also throughout your life. And I'm somebody in my 20s right now. It's like there's a lot going on. You got to make really important personal decisions, professional decisions. Jojo, when you think about just 20s in general, like what pops out in your mind about that time period and like the stuff that people focus on?
Ooh, so many transitions. Your early 20s. If you went, in my circumstance, I was just coming out of college. Having to now uphold the standard that comes along with getting this degree according to your family, and the people around you, and just trying to navigate like who you really want to become, because now you're really faced with it. I don't know, in my early 20s, I felt like the safety net was literally snatched from up under me, and you're forced to make decisions, and sometimes they're fluid for some people and they know exactly what they want to do. I've had friends that literally they know what they want for their life and they make it happen. And then, in my regard, I knew what I wanted, but I didn't know how to attain it. And that's when, you start to go through the transitions of having money, not having money, having a place to stay, sleeping on a friend's couch, or, going through relationships, being in love, having your heart broken. I think your 20s that decade is a tumultuous, I mean, all of them have been a little interesting. But I don't know, the 20s is when it's just like, it's the first time it's all up to you, kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like you're kind of like kicked out the nest in some regards. And, it's scary, but it's also a ton of fun. I definitely feel my body is different. When I woke up 30, I was like, damn, your back is a little tighter, things change. I can't, drink like I used to. I don't even think I'm a drink anymore, honestly. I'm just like, it ain't the same. The bounce back is not the same. The turn up ain't the same. So, the 20s, your 20s are fun. They're a good learning experience.
Sophina, when you think about this show and just the time period of your 20s in general, what comes to mind for you? Because some people are like, yeah, the 20s aren't it for me. I'm ready for my 30s. Things will start to come together. Other people are like, this is the best time of your life. Like, live it up, do it big. What do you like to focus on when you think about just the concept of the show and, your 20s in general?
My 20s, they were crazy. So, yeah, I can't say that it was the best time of my life because I acted a straight fool.
But you have that runway in your 20s to act a straight fool.
Yeah, exactly. But I will say this, that I'm gonna bring it back a little bit to what we just talked about. The friendships that I made in my 20s, ride or die people. Like, those are my people. Like, that has been the one consistent, the one, constant, I will say, about my 20s as I moved into my 30s and now my 40s.
my friendships, you know, my kind of like my community, my tribe, as it were, it has expanded, but I still have it's not like it's changed, if that makes you know, if that makes sense. So I definitely do not want to go back to 2020. No way in the world. Like, I'm good over here at 43. You know what I mean? Like, my 30s, though, I will say, like, my 30s it was like that decade of like sowing, you know, sowing. And my 40s thus far has been like the harvest, you know? And so that's been great. But I just like to pretend I went from like 19 to 31.
Smooth sailing all the way through.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Well, the show is awesome. I really appreciate you both jumping on. Best of luck with everything going forward, and let's do it again down the road, all right?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Thank you.
Great to see you, Sophina, and great
It's
to
so
meet
good to
you.
see you, JoJo. I can't wait to squeeze you.